I'm going to turn around and see some architecture which is still here when the Ivy House had just been demolished, I think. Anyway, we're going to turn around, see if we can line it up. And we're featuring on the yellow house directly in front of us with the two sort of curved windows. Here it is before those flats there had come onto the scene. So yes, that was Ivy Lane before these flats were built, and that was the Ivy House. Anyway, get to the end. I can't say line it up because there's nothing to line up, it's a map. But it might be of interest to you. Here you go. So there we go, hopefully you'll make some sense of that. That's the Strand down there, and that's Powderham down there. So if you can line it up on the map, there you go. Shall we have a then and now? Okie dokie, hold photo. Here, not sure of the date, enjoy. That wall there, still the same, so's the ramp, and obviously the cliffs. Jolly good, let's continue. In the back of my mind I've got something on my computer to do with St. Peter's, some sort of picture or a newspaper cutting or something, but I haven't got it lined up, I don't know where it's from. So but this is the church and I'm going to drop it in here if I can find it. I don't know what you've seen, if anything. That was St. Peter's. Now I believe I got a photo taken from up there of the Ness Hotel back when that was like a putt-putt golf course. If I can find it, I'll put it in. If I can't find it, you'll never hear this bit of video. Lovely old building. Now, did you know that in the 1930s, wild elephants roamed around in Teignmouth? You probably think I'm going mad, but I'm not. Here's two elephants drinking from the fountain in the 1930s on the left, and a pony for good measure on the right. Ludus in the background, lovely. Well, exactly what it says on the tin, isn't it? Exactly what it says on the tin. Perfect. This is near enough where the picture was yesterday of the girl on the Seawall with the steam train. Now some of you will know from the old photos I do along here that back in around the 1920s there used to be a lot of huts on the beach. And people say, well, how did that work then? Didn't they get swept away? The answer was yes, they did. Here's a photo from the 1920s of a group of people rescuing one of the huts with ropes. There you go. So that would have been right here, just down on the beach there by the pier. Looks a bit different. Obviously I kept the Facebook part of the photo on then so as the guy could get credit for it. I'll just show you the picture zoomed in without the Facebook part. I guess it was about here, yeah? So I'm going to zoom in a sec. Right. That house up there, that's in the picture. The one at the top, not the one below, that one there. And going along back, one of those houses there up the top is in the picture, and the castle we were at the other day is kind of in those trees in the middle, but here it is before it was all built up. Here's the picture. So yes, certainly a lack of buildings before the botanical gardens were in full bloom. I had this photo in my hands this morning and I sent it to my phone, but I never clicked send. But it's over there, Bitton Park Bowling Club, a rather, well, shall we call a spade and say a large lady playing bowls. Details are in the picture. There you go. So that was there X years ago. Well, shall we do a few then and nows? Why not, eh? Why not? Well, this is all to do with the fair arriving on the Den. I think in 1972. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in the next bit of video I do. But basically, when you see it these days, it just uses that part of the Den over there. And this is sort of for carnival. But back in my day, used to be here. And over there was where the big wheel set up. And once the big wheel was up, that was the start of the fair, because I could just about see the top of it from the lounge window where I lived with my mum and dad when I was a kiddie. And you'd want to see it every night before you went to bed, see it going round, lit up. Anyway, let's see if I can line these up. Here we go. Well, the first one would have been about there, with the big wheel setting up. Here we go. Now we'll just make our way up round to a slightly different angle to see it across from the other side. Well, this one would have been from about here. There you go. And you'll notice that the last building on that terrace ahead of us on the left says Portland Hotel in the photos. Well, that's going to feature in the next then and now. Just got to go line up. Here we go, all lined up. Portland Hotel as was in front of us. Here you go. And for the last photo, we're going to make our way up onto that seating area, which was the aquarium many years ago. There's another video about that. So let's get up there, line up the last one. Here we go. That's from up on the balcony. And you'll see what was the Royal Hotel then. And the older style wagons from the fair, they're down there. Here you go. So that was the fair that used to cover the entire Den back in the 70s. All good. I used to love that fair. A real fair that was. Really good. Fancy a quick then and now? Or today, a then, and where it is now? That sounds weird, doesn't it? Well, let me explain. Many of you know there used to be a Peter Pan railway up here. I've shown pictures of it before. Here it is now. Here's the railway anyway. But the now part isn't just, this is what it looks like now, it's where is that railway now? Well, thanks to a local photographer, Chris Russell, on Facebook, I managed to find that he'd been down to Plymouth and he's found the original railway that was here, still in operation in Plymouth. And he put a couple of pics on Facebook, so I'm going to share them with you. Cheers, Chris. So there we go, still going. The old Peter Pan Railway. I thought it had been long scrapped, but still going. Brilliant, eh? Excellent. It's great news. Okay, thanks, Chris. Quick then and now. Not sure exactly what date, but I'm going to say it's pre-1950s. It's quite an old one. We're looking at people working on the cliffs. You'll have to look carefully, but there's a line of them all roped up to the left there on that cliff. I think it's actually on the bit that eventually came down. Ahead of us, we'll see that there's piles of sand down by the tunnel, where they're doing something with that on the beach. And just before the tunnel, you'll also see that, if you look carefully, the old signal box is visible up there. So anyway, here we go, roughly here, date unknown. Yes, quite cool. Got another one in a sec. Going to turn around, look the other way, see him doing it the other way. Here we go, same day, different direction, same people up on the cliffs. Crazy. Anyway, it's starting to rain now. Nightmare. Now, not exactly a then and now by the strictest sense, but this is a photo I saw that was taken during lockdown when all the ships were in the bay, docked in the bay, all the cruise ships, and I thought it was particularly nice. Anyway, I'll throw it up in the entirety along with its watermark. Here we go. Round about here, somewhere in between the lifeguards and the ice cream cone upside down, there used to be like a mini stage. A bit hard to explain, but a large sort of semicircular thing with a solid back towards the sea, an open bit towards the seafront. And it's not in a great deal of pictures or footage that I've got, so I have to date it as before the 1940s it was built. And I don't think it was here after the war. However, I'm going to try and line up a shot for you in a sec, which sort of shows it briefly on the right, along with an ice cream seller from a little tub trolley. And the beachcomber hasn't been built. Anyway, let's line it up and see what we can do. Anyway, here we go, roughly here, possibly a bit further back up, but if I go back up, I've got a car right in the shot. The pier, as was. The stage, which is over there, white, and of course the captain's table wasn't built. Here you go. I'm going to have to do some more research on that white thing. Yes, I'll find out what it was properly. I will follow up. Right, I've got this one down, stored on my phone as Wellington Gardens, because over there, in front of there, there's people walking now, that was gardens. But the reason I'm actually doing it today is you see the Cats Protection League, that used to be a toy shop and I was talking about it in the comments, and that was Cornish's, and that was there for a long time. Anyway, here's the picture. So we've got Cornish's toy store in Wellington Street. Oh yes. Well anyway, back to today. And if you remember when I was up there on the roof just now, I said that that building over there used to be the court and the police station over there. Here it is, as a court. Now that would have been in the 1970s or 60s that was taken. But what I want to focus on there is where the police station was, over there. Remember me talking about the Carlton cinema? Well, that used to be over there. Now you see that wall there, just behind where that lady's got in her car? That wall appears in it. And here it is, the Carlton cinema, destroyed during the war in the bombing, which also took out the market square part, which we'll come to in another video. Anyway, here's the photograph. So there we go, that would have been the Carlton cinema over there. You see, the Slipway didn't always used to be there. In fact, I've got a newspaper article campaigning for there to be a slipway put in here at Polly Steps. Here you go. And that would have been taken from around here with the old sheds in the background and the lack of the slipway that's there now. The old Royal Hotel over there. Obviously it's not exactly the same entrance because they had to rebuild the entrance when they rebuilt the flats because they weren't supposed to knock those pillars down, but they did. But anyway, here we go, 1974. There's some ladies outside the Royal Hotel, as was, for some reason, may say in the newspaper cutting. There we go, it was 1974.